I call the next part of the Dinner Special podcast the pressure cooker. I'm
All
going
right.
to ask you 7 fast and fun questions that we want to know your answers to. Are you up for it?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Great. Number 1, which food shows or cooking shows do you watch?
Totally. Okay. Well, I'm going to fail this question because I don't really watch any. Because I don't, yeah, like I was saying, I need a break from all the food sometimes. But I've been hearing amazing things about the Netflix series called Chef. I think that's what it's called. So that's on my list to watch. So I'll report back.
Perfect. Number 2, what are some food blogs or food websites we have to know about?
Yeah. I think the one food blog that has really inspired me in a lot of ways is the blog Happy Yolks. I've been following her for a really long time. I don't know if she's actually really blogging much anymore, but her writing is so beautiful and honest and vulnerable. And I really, a lot of blogs that I go to also for the writing, not just for the recipes. And I think she just does such a beautiful job of pairing those. I also follow Brooklyn Supper. I love her recipes because they're simple, they're seasonal, and she's based in Appalachia, I think in Virginia, and I've spent a lot of time in Appalachia, and I know that there are a lot of people who are eager and hungry for really simple seasonal recipes with food that's been grown there for a long time. And I'll also mention my friend Catherine's blog called Cook with What You Have. She's based in Portland, Oregon. She is just the epitome. The name is perfect. She is the epitome of everything I want to be in a cook, which is a person who saves the scraps and the little bits and pieces and makes something really cool and beautiful out of them. And she also has a business where she teaches these awesome cooking classes about just that. Those are some of my favorite blogs, but among so many others.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Number 3, who do you follow on Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, or Snapchat that make you happy?
Totally. I mean, I follow so many food bloggers on Instagram. That's probably like the main social media mode that I use. Let's see. I love Baker's Hands. She is this like incredible baker who's also this incredible artist. And she makes like this flower art on top of her loaves of bread. It's amazing. It's so beautiful. Dolly and Oatmeal, Marbell, There She Cooks, Local Haven, The Roaming Kitchen, so many others, so many people that are doing just amazing things with food that are constantly inspiring me.
Yeah, totally. Tons of
Yeah,
inspiration out there.
yeah, and a lot of people that you've interviewed. I was looking through your list and was like, oh my gosh, I follow so many of these guys. They're awesome. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Number 4, what is the most unusual or treasured item you have in your kitchen?
Hmm. So I live in New York City and I have a very small kitchen. So I've tried to be very intentional with the kinds of like tools that I keep in my kitchen. So I'm going to go with treasured, most treasured item. And it's probably my grandmother's silver. Um, she gave it to my husband and I as a gift for our wedding. And it's a really lovely story about how she got this silver. So my grandmother is from rural Eastern Kentucky in the mountains of Eastern Kentucky. And she moved to Lexington, to the big city, and ended up working at the Capitol building in Frankfort, Kentucky. She was the secretary in the building, and she had made it. She had really left her rural roots for the city. And one of the things she bought with her first paycheck was this beautiful set of silverware that she went home and gave to her mother. And so she gave that to me for my wedding, and
Wow.
it's my most prized possession that I own. It's amazing. Yeah, so I use it in all of my posts on my blog too.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Number 5, name one ingredient you used to dislike that you now love.
Okay. Man, there are a lot of things. I feel like I'm constantly teaching myself to like new foods that I didn't like before. But the thing that I will stand out that I really love now is pickles. Like I despised pickles. I hated pickles. I was like the person who, you order a sandwich at a restaurant and the pickle touched your sandwich and you're like, oh my God, I can't eat that part of the sandwich. But then somehow I just started really loving pickles and started making a lot of pickles myself, probably prompted by a lot of those farmers at that market who were like, this is what you have to do to save this produce. But yeah, now I'm totally obsessed with pickles.
Great. Number 6, what are a few cookbooks that make your life better?
Hmm. I think, the Ottolenghi cookbooks, Plenty More and Jerusalem, they are so creative and difficult in some ways. So those really push me because I think a lot of the cooking I generally do for myself on a daily basis is something that's just really simple. So cooking something out of all of those cookbooks always feels like a challenge to me, and an accomplishment once I've made it. Yeah, so I'd say those cookbooks are some of my favorites.
Great.
And I'll also mention The Joy of Cooking, which my mother made pancakes from almost every weekend growing up. And so The Joy of Cooking has a special place in my heart.
Awesome. And finally, number 7, what song or album just makes you want to cook?
Totally. So my husband is totally like the music guy in our relationship. So I'm often like over in the cooking and then you're over in the kitchen and he's like at the computer at our record player putting some tunes on. So I let him DJ most of the time. But I'm also really obsessed with Robin and with Sia. So like things that make me want to dance and that I know all the words to make me super excited.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I took to those.
perfect. Well, congratulations, Alexa. You have officially survived the pressure cooker.